Hey, this is Nerdy Texan Accountant, and I recently watched a few videos on a very recent topic that came up called ThunderCats Roar. I watched Just Some Guy, Appabend, Diversity in Comics, Headroom, Yellow Flash, and Unranked Chevron, to name a few of the videos I watched. I'll leave links in the description down below. So many people are actually talking about it, and I decided to make my own video on it. However, I'm going to state as to probably why it's so cheap, being made so cheap. The first factors I can come up with are lower television viewership. It's already existing property. What happened with the 2011 reboot and the producer. Basically, I'm going to look at this from a business standpoint, and well, all of it ends up coming to one thing: money. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the television viewership. It's gone down, for all channels, because there are a lot more channels now on regular TV. But here's another thing though: people are ending their cable subscriptions and all that because of the internet and streaming. So advertising revenue has gone down for all of these stations, especially for animation, with it being expensive. So they are trying to cut costs to be able to stay on air and still make a profit, even with making less revenue. One way that they do this is having toy sales and merchandising. That usually increases the revenue for this by selling those toys, and that makes it easier for when there are less viewerships. Another thing that they can do is cut costs, which is actually the easiest thing that they would do. One way of cutting costs is, as stated before, having a already existing property. ThunderCats was created in the 80s, so that means that they don't have to pay, for the creation, the idea, all the work that needs to be put into it, the time and effort, and the money into creating the concept idea, checking if anyone else has done it, because they're the ones who have already done it. So that actually makes it much cheaper for them than having to do with startup costs. Another factor would be the 2011 reboot that got canceled after one season. The reboot probably cost a lot of money to animate, but the toys did not sell well, so it was most likely a loss in money. It didn't make a profit, sadly. And the executives probably wanted it to sell toys and everything like that, to be able to make not only back its money, but a profit. So when it failed to do that, it probably saw it as a massive failure and a waste of money. So when they decided to reboot the franchise again, ThunderCats, they went with the cheaper alternative, as we can see here with ThunderCats Go. The cheaper animation can also be seen by executives as having another positive than just being cheap. Since the simple design is actually being very popular at the moment, the executives can see it as a way of is a good way of getting more viewerships because it's what's popular at the time. And we can see this in the image that I got from Appabend's video as comparing other series. You see a simplistic design, but not only that, we can actually see with the next image here that I got from Just Some Guy's video. Highly recommend the videos here, but you can see that they're practically the same almost, which is not very good at all. The similarity that they all have would pretty much be a very easy way for executives to just quickly create new series if need be, or just reboot old franchises that haven't been around for a long time, as we've seen with ThunderCats Roar. Like Teen Titans Go, ThunderCats Roar, pretty much what's the difference? It's anymore like with this cheap animation, practically. But as you can see, you can go from one series to another with the same design and be okay. Well, from their perspective, sadly, which I do not like. I think, in my personal opinion, that they should have made a second season, and once it got more traction, because when it moved it to Toonami, the 2011 reboot, it was getting more views, so I think if they stuck it out for a little bit longer, it would have been better. But sadly, that was not the case. The final factor would be the production team, the producer. If they don't have enough money to begin with, then they won't be able to make high quality. But as you can tell from this guy, he probably doesn't want to make high quality anyway. But he's the producer. He looks like he can't even afford a good haircut, so expecting good product from him, something that costs a lot of money to make, would be out of the question. But you can see my point here. It's like, if they don't have the money, you can't have that high quality. Well, I want to thank you for watching the video. Tell me what you thought about it. What you think about the direction that they're going with this. Would you think that they would go a different direction if people are able to make their own animation, like fan-made animation? You think that would be preferred? Like how they're doing with some of the Star Trek, they have fan-made clips on YouTube, so yeah, maybe we could start doing that, who knows. But just tell me your thoughts on it and what you think will be happening in the future. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.